I'm about as real as they come.
All my beats tailored by Joe. House Digital.
Maserati, Rick in Detroit. Convertible bird in Miami. Graduated summa cum laude. Strip club made a tsunami. Carlton Hines with the ball game. Grateful Edmonds with the snowflakes. Craig Pettis in the M-Town. Sal Magluta with the boat game. Falcone with the cocaine. Like Freeway Ricky with the plug game. Like Monster Cody in South Central. Larry Davis from close range. Yo. We back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb, ties. We on our way to Florida with it. Miami. Only feels right that I say in my yayo. All my niggas from Miami, y'all niggas get in the comment box. Carroll City, Overtown, Liberty City, Little Haiti, Little Havana, Miramar. Motherfucker, the list goes on and on and on. Y'all niggas get in the comment box. Shit about to go down. Now, it's been a long time coming before we got to this episode. I just wanted to make sure my research was right. But we finally going to be covering the infamous Kenneth Boobie Williams and the notorious Booby Boy gang. Now, a little bit about the Booby Boy gang. They were based in Miami, pretty much Carroll City, but some shit went down to try to get into Liberty City. We're going to get into that. And like I said, they were headed by Kenneth Boobie Williams. He was featured on America's Most Wanted in 1999, if I'm not mistaken. And most people might know him from being mentioned in a lot of Rick Ross songs, particularly the first ones. I want to say Hustling, he was mentioned in. I know he was definitely mentioned in White House, Port of Miami, probably my favorite song on that album. But yeah, like I said, they were pretty much based in Dade County, and they tore Dade County up. They said the gang was probably responsible for 35 murders and up to 100 shootings. And based on my research, it's like a lot of those shootings were going to war with rival drug fashions. A majority of the shootings looked like they were predominantly aimed at the Vonda gang, which was headed by another notorious drug trafficker, Vonda Jackson, who we probably definitely going to have to touch bases on, who is serving time right now. But now a little bit more about the Boobie Boys and Kenneth Boobie Williams, who authorities, like I said was the leader of the gang. They say the gang worked to kill off its competition while building extreme cocaine smuggling empire, who besides the 35 murders that they're accused of and 100 shootings, authorities believe that they established operations that smuggled in $85 million of cocaine across Florida and to 12 other states during the 1990s. Now, a majority of these murders happened in between 1990 and 1998, and ironically, it started out with Booby Williams getting shot himself. Like I stated earlier, the Boobie Boys gang is based out of the Carroll City section of Miami, and a majority of the shootings seem like they were directed at the Vonda gang, which was based in the Overtown section of Miami. And they, according to authorities, they both trafficked in crack cocaine, marijuana, and heroin. And at first, they began to kill each other for control over the lucrative drug trade in Liberty City. But after a while, and after a few shootings and a few killings, police said that they began to kill each other out of intense personal hatred. But it wasn't only the Vonda gang that the Boobie Boys was into it with. According to the Miami Herald, they had an intense beef with a gang called the Thomas family that erupted in the early 90s, and they also was at war with the infamous John Doe gang in 1997. Now, we mentioned the Thomas family, and I also mentioned that a lot of the murders and a lot of the shootings happened after Booby Williams was shot. According to authorities, it was on the behest of the Thomas family that Kenneth Booby Williams was shot. Now, we can talk all day about this guy did this and this guy did that. And like I said, this was a story that was a long time coming. Definitely should have been one of the first stories that we covered if we're going to be talking about mob tie shit. But when you talk about 35 homicides and 100 shootings, it really does not hit home until you can put a name and a date on it. And that's what we're going to do right here. So on September the 6th in 1992, Kenneth Booby Williams was shot and wounded with a .40 caliber handgun, and that was said to be retaliation by the Thomas gang or the Thomas family. Later that year, on Christmas, December 25th of 1992, a guy by the name of James Powell was killed with a .357 handgun at the house of Avonda Jackson, and that was said to be retaliation by the Booby Boys. 5 days later, on December 30th, Magnus Hamilton and Ronald Jackson, who police both deemed as innocent bystanders, were slain with .40 caliber handguns in a retaliation by the Thomas gang. Moving into 1993, on June 14th, Harold Johnson was killed with a 9mm handgun during a gang dispute with the Thomas gang. On July 26th of that year, a guy by the name of Sherman Bruce was shot and wounded with an AK-47, and that was also said to be retaliation by the Thomas gang. Now on March 10th, Lavelle Mutcherson and Azola Hill, who police both claim were innocent, were wounded with .223 assault rifles in a gang dispute with the Thomas gang. 7 days later, on March 17th, Jerry Dukes was shot and killed, and John Hankins was wounded with 99 rounds from an AK-47 assault rifle. That was said to be retaliation by the Thomas gang. The very next day, Benny Brownlee was killed with a .223 assault rifle, and that was said to be retaliation by the Booby Boys. 2 days later, on March 20th of 1993, Wayne Brownlee and Darrell Thomas were wounded with .223 assault rifles, and that was also said to be retaliation from the Booby Boys. On June the 22nd, Walter Betterson and Derek Harris were killed with .223 assault rifles, also said to be retaliation from the Booby Boys. Now going into 1995, on March the 23rd, Marvin Rogers, who was a kind of key figure inside of the Booby Boys gang, was wounded, and that was said to be retaliation from the Vonda gang. A day later, Eddie Davis, a guy by the name of Devac McLucas, and a guy by the name of George Donaldson were killed, and Andre McWarher was wounded with an AK-47 assault rifle. That was said to be retaliation from the Booby Boys. On May 17th, Otis Green, Alice Gardner, who was said to be innocent, and Michael Frazier, who was also innocent, and a 5-year-old child was killed with an AK-47 assault rifle in a territory dispute with the Booby Boys gang. With those few killings, you could consider 1995 a light year, because in 1996, on May 19th, Moses Brown was killed with an AK-47 assault rifle. That was said to be retaliation by the Booby Boys. On that same day, Wayne Baptiste and Donald Lorfus was wounded with the AK-47 assault rifle, and that was said to be retaliation, but the source is unknown of who retaliated. On September 24th, Jesse Swanson was killed with a .45 caliber handgun. That was said to be retaliation from the Booby Boys. On September 26th, 2 days later, Wallace Fortner, the brother of Jesse Swanson, who was just killed 2 days earlier, was shot and killed with an AK-47 assault rifle, and that was said to be retaliation by the Booby Boys. On October the 27th, Raymond Rich was killed, and Rick Delancey, who was the half-brother of Avonda Jackson, was wounded with an AK-47 style assault rifle, and that was said to be retaliation from the Booby Boys. On December the 3rd, Terrence Bostic was killed with an assault rifle, and that was said to be retaliation by the Vonda gang. On Christmas of 1996, Efren E4 Casado, who authorities claim was the second in command of the Booby Boys, Casado's 18-month-old child, and Kente Holloman were wounded with AK-47 style assault rifles. That was said to be retaliation by the Banda gang. On March 22nd of 1997, John Hawthorne was wounded with the AK-47 assault rifle in a gang dispute with the Banda gang. On May 6th, Damian McCoy was killed and LaVarrington Smith was wounded with the AK-47 assault rifle. That was said to be retaliation by the Booby Boys. On October the 12th, Yvonne Washington and Robert Lee Sawyer were wounded with AK-47 style assault rifles, and that was retaliation from the Booby Boys. On November 18th, Robert Lee Sawyer was wounded a second time, and that was also retaliation by the Booby Boys. On New Year's Eve, Marvin Rogers was shot a second time during the ongoing gang dispute and was killed with the AK-47 assault rifle, and that was said to be retaliation by the Banda gang. Now, moving into 1998, on January 1st, Jamal Brown was paralyzed with an AK-47 style assault rifle, and that was said to be retaliation by the Booby Boys gang. Rick Delancey was also wounded. He was also shot for a second time in the back and forth dispute, both at the house of Avonda Jackson, who authorities allege was the rival kingpin to Kenneth Boobie Williams. Now, on February the 11th, Roger Davis and a guy by the name of Tyrone Tarver, who authorities deemed was innocent, were killed with 43 plus rounds from an AK-47 style assault rifle, and that was said to be retaliation from the Booby Boys. On February 22nd, Michael Tyson was killed with an AK-47 assault rifle. Now, that was due to a dispute with the Booby Boys. On February 24th, 2 days later, John Davis was killed with a 9mm handgun in a territory dispute with the Booby Boys. And on March 11th, Varian Scott, who authorities deemed was innocent, was wounded, and Cassandra Williams, who was also innocent, was paralyzed by AK-47 assault rifle, and that was said to be retaliation from the Banda gang. So just in a span of 7 years, you see how lucrative that Liberty City market was to both of the gangs. Now, not too long after that, Kenneth Booby Williams, along with 11 other associates, would be convicted, and he would be sentenced to life. And here is the kicker. He was convicted on a cocaine distribution conspiracy beef. Could you imagine if they tied those murders to that indictment? Would he be facing a death penalty or nah? Is he the most dangerous head of an organization or not? Y'all get in the comment box. Y'all let me know, because I'm leaning towards yeah. But y'all know what it is, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. It's your boy Popalot, POP_A_LOT. I'm going to be back with more Trill Spill shit. Y'all get at me in the comment box under below. Y'all hit that bell to subscribe. Y'all get at me in the direct message on Instagram, on Twitter, under the pictures, however y'all want to handle it. And we're going to be back with more Trill Spill shit, man. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb, Ty.